Hi my beauties, welcome to today's video. So for today's video, it's going to be a part 2 of my mental health tips video. The focus for today's video is going to be self-love and self-care. So to get into today's look, I have a half up, half down, 2 little pieces out to be my bangs, and then this cute outfit is actually a 2-piece set from Shein, and I actually just finished filming a Shein Cyber Monday haul, so make sure to keep a lookout for that if it's not already posted, but it most likely will be posted before this video. Okay, and then for the setting, I am sitting on my couch at the moment. I figured it would be nice to be sitting on the couch so it could kind of feel like this is maybe a FaceTime call or something more like calm, cool, collective, chill vibes. And it's actually a rainy day today, which is really nice. So I'm just feeling the vibes, feeling the ambiance. So everything that I'm going to be discussing in today's video is on my iPad. So if you see me looking down or anything like that, it's because I made a couple of notes for myself, since I kind of talk a lot and sometimes get off topic. But before we get into today's video, make sure you give it a like, comment, share, subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications so that you can be notified every time that I post a new video. And also don't forget to check out my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Facebook page. All right, let's get into today's video. Okay, so when it comes to self-care, self-care is a state, I guess you could say, where you feel calm, you feel positive, and you're away from any negativity. So what are some things that you can do to keep you calm or feeling positive? So what I think of is like getting your nails done or getting your hair done, doing your makeup, going shopping, like getting a nice outfit, getting dressed up. You can do meditation, you can do journaling. There's a lot of different things you can do. And I know you might be thinking like, it might be too expensive to get your nails done all the time or things like that. So these are actually press-on nails. They're different colors because these ones weren't ready to fall off. So I just kept them on and then I glued these ones. And I think I paid $8 and it came with the glue. As far as doing your makeup, you can get makeup if you want from Dollar Tree, from Walmart, anywhere. As far as your hair, you can buy the hair tools yourself. And as far as outfits, you can look up, there's honestly some cute finds if you go to like the thrift store, or if you go to Shein, or if you want to splurge a little bit. So there's a lot of different options. And then as far as meditation, you can meditate at home, you can look up YouTube videos, there's probably even apps. And then as far as journaling, you can journal on your phone, on your iPad, on your computer, in a notebook, on a piece of paper, anything really. But self-care is really important because it helps you keep a positive mindset. So when it comes to self-love, self-care kind of helps you get into self-love because, you know, with a positive mindset, you're able to love yourself. So when you start caring about yourself and you feel calm and all those things and positive, it allows you to start feeling confident. And when you have confidence, that's when you start to love yourself and appreciate yourself, and you start to get a good self-esteem. So you're feeling good, you're like, I got this, like I am that girl. Who am I? Who are we? We are those girls, you know what I'm saying? So that's very important. And this video doesn't apply to just girls, I just am saying that because it's kind of like a saying. So let me get into my pointers. Sorry, I'm like using my iPad and I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. So I wrote down a lot of different things. So hopefully this video is not too long because I do talk a lot, but please, I promise it's going to be worth it. Stick around. So I grew up watching RuPaul's Drag Race, which I don't know if you guys ever seen that. It's a great show, but RuPaul would always say, if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else? And I feel like as I grew up and through time, I actually really understood that quote and the meaning behind it. So if you don't love yourself, how can you even love somebody else? Literally. So if I'm very insecure and I feel really down about myself, then how am I gonna pour my love into somebody else if I'm constantly having like these thoughts in my head that I'm like not good enough, or what if they're cheating, or what if there's somebody out there better than me, this and that. And it's like, no, like, you need to learn to love yourself. That way you can love somebody else properly. And if you're in a relationship with someone and they're not loving you properly, that's because they don't love themselves. The same way as if someone's bullying you or picking on you, they're projecting onto you the insecurities that they have within themselves. They're unhappy like in their life, so they're trying to dim down your light. But if they were happy and they loved themselves, then they wouldn't feel the need to go out bullying people or trying to make somebody else feel down. So you see how like the different ways that that could apply in different like situations, scenarios in your life. Then the next one is, don't love somebody more than you love yourself. That is like the worst thing that you can do, because not everybody has the same heart as you. So you're loving this person more than you love yourself. Like, then if they're not giving you the proper love, what are you going to do? Because you feel like you're going to want to settle and stay with them, because you're like, well, I have to be with this person, I love them so much, like X, Y, and Z. I feel like nobody's gonna love me. Nobody's gonna love me better than this person, this and that. But that's not true at all. There's somebody out there for everyone. And sometimes the love of your life can be yourself, or it can be your child, or like, we don't know who our soulmate is or who the love of our life is. So don't love someone more than you love yourself, because you'll just end up hurt in the end, which I know is easier said than done. But my other pointer is, don't swim an ocean for someone that wouldn't even cross the street for you. Because a lot of times we go out of our way to do things for people, but then they don't give us the same energy in return. They wouldn't make the same sacrifices or do the same thing as us. So why are you going to hurt yourself and go above and beyond when you're not getting the same thing in return? Like, you give out what you want to get, like what you want to receive in return. So if that person can't do the same thing for you, if it's just like a one way, like you're constantly putting in the effort and doing all the stuff and they're not doing the same thing as you, that kind of goes back into play into not everyone has the same heart as you, unfortunately. And this can go with relationships, it can go with family members, it can go with friends. So yeah, don't go above and beyond for somebody that won't do the same thing for you. And this can even go for like employers too, if you actually think about it. Then the next thing is, stop settling for the version of the person that you created in your head. A lot of the times when you're in love, the blinded with love, you create this version of like, okay, well, this person is gonna be like this, or like we're gonna have this big happy family, or me and my best friend, we're gonna like be best friends forever, this is that. Like, I'm just throwing out scenarios so that doesn't only apply to like love, whatever. But you know, a lot of times when we're in love and when we love someone, things like that, we create a version in our head of the person, and then as time goes on and you start to learn to love yourself and you stop settling for less and whatever, you start to realize like, wait, this person is not the same person that I thought they were all along, because I created this version of them in my head. And you can keep waiting and try to give them chances and like keep going, but over time you're going to realize like, wait, that person doesn't even exist. Like, that was literally a part of my imagination. Like, I just imagined they were this way. So I know a lot of times people can do that, but try your best to not try to like sit back and be like, wait, is this really who he is, or is this the version that I created of him in my head? Or is this really her, or is this the version of her that I created in my head? And then another thing that kind of goes into like going above and beyond for people and all the other pointers that I just mentioned is like, a lot of time people will take your love or like your kindness for weakness. They'll take advantage of it, and they will literally suck you dry out of your energy. So always make sure to love yourself and protect your energy, because to avoid that from happening. Because once they, like when they first meet you, you're like beautiful, you have a lot of things going on for yourself, this and that, and then you're settling for the version that you created in your head, and little by little you're dimming yourself down. Like, they're sucking all the energy out of you, and then you know that TikTok trend where it's like they have the lighter and then it's like me, and then you pass the lighter to someone and the person blows it out. So you keep going back to that person to try to give you the same energy, but they just keep blowing it out. And then what is going to happen to you? You're just going to feel like lost, like you don't know what to really do. So don't let people take your energy, because your energy is very precious. That goes with like your self-esteem, your self-confidence. Energy is so important. And then it's also okay to say no. So a lot of times people can be people pleasers. I, in the past, was a people pleaser, and I found that being a people pleaser never worked out in my benefit. It was always benefiting the other person that I was trying to please, because I never wanted to say no. I always wanted to go above and beyond, you know, swim an ocean for someone that wouldn't even cross the street. And I always ended up screwed in the end. Or like, okay, a lot of the times when somebody is used to you always saying like yes, like yeah, of course I'll do that, oh yeah, I'll grab Starbucks for you, or I'll do this, I'll do that, then the day that you say like no, unfortunately, I'm sorry, I can't do this for you, X, Y, and Z, they forget all the times that you said yes. They can call you names, they can say like whatever, they forget all of like the good times that you guys had together and the times that you helped them out. So learn to say no, because when they're used to you pleasing them all the time, you're just gonna end up hurt in the end. So this kind of goes into like setting up boundaries. When you have boundaries, that's a way that'll allow you to like take care of yourself, always be positive, you know, avoiding negativity, and then that'll lead into boosting your self-esteem and your self-confidence. And then this kind of goes into like another method is like, or another scenario that's kind of easier to see is like, let's say you have a cup and you only have like this much water in it, and you're pouring it into another cup, but you have all these people that you're trying to please and take care of, or your significant other, or your friends, or whatever, and your family members even, and you're constantly like pouring water into their cup, like, okay, yeah, I'll do this favor for you, or yes, I'm gonna forgive you this time for doing X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna do this, like blah blah blah. And then when you look at your cup, there's no water, there's barely any water left in your cup for even you to drink. Or let's say you're constantly pouring your water into all these other people's cups, but no one's pouring water into your cup. So what is that going to do for you? It's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to benefit you. You're not going to get anything out of it. So another thing that comes with self-care and self-love is like to be a little bit selfish, to love yourself first, to put yourself first, because at the end of the day, most people are loving themselves and putting themselves first anyways, especially when it comes to like, if you're in a toxic friendship or a toxic family or a toxic relationship where you're constantly going above and beyond for them, but they're still like treating you badly or cheating on you or all that stuff. So yeah, always take care of the water in your cup, and make sure that if you're pouring water into someone else's cup, they're also pouring water into your cup. I'm trying to do scenarios because I'm the type of person that I have to have things like explained to me. So that's why I'm kind of like, I wrote down a lot of different ways that people could understand concepts. I hope I'm making sense. So when it comes to self-care, find like a routine that you have, like, okay, every morning I'm gonna go to the gym, or every morning I'm gonna make myself breakfast, or something that I've been doing now is like trying to wake up earlier than my daughter does so that I can get ready, so that I get like a good start in my day. So that's like a little self-care method for me, a little routine that I have. And then the hobby that I developed was like content creating, so my YouTube channel. So it's something that I look forward to, whereas before, when I didn't have like a hobby or something I was passionate about, I would just be like moping around, like lazy, no motivation, feeling sad, feeling depressed, whatever. But now that I have my hobby, I'm like, okay, so the next chance that I get, or like when my daughter's taking a nap, or when somebody's watching her, I'm gonna try to film like this video, this TikTok, take this Instagram picture, like, so you're always motivated. You don't like have, because sometimes when you have too much downtime is when you can get into like depression and things like that, because the thoughts in your head can sometimes like become overwhelming. They can, yeah, I feel like you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's good to keep yourself on the go and feeling good about yourself. And when it comes to how I mentioned like toxic relationships and friendships and family ships, always make sure to focus on what you need from that person or from those people versus what you want. So that kind of goes also into the version of them that you created in your head. So what do I need? I need a boyfriend that is going to like love me and make me feel beautiful or call me beautiful every day, or like whatever. To each relationship their own, but whatever things that you need and that you don't like want to settle for or whatever, like make sure that those people are giving you what you need, and not just like, oh well, I want a boyfriend. Like, okay, you want a boyfriend, but what do you need from that boyfriend? Like, okay, well, I need him to call me beautiful every day and blah blah blah. But yeah, so that's into there. And then the next thing that I have, which I think I mentioned before, is like set boundaries to protect yourself, to protect your energy. A lot of times when there's no boundaries set up, you can get walked all over. And then another thing that I learned is like living in the moment. So trying not to be on your phone too much. Obviously you can like take pictures and things for memories, but don't focus so much on like the past, because you can't change the past. The past already happened. And try not to get overwhelmed with thinking about the future, because yeah, your actions can like affect your future, but you're not there yet, so don't dwell on it too much. Just focus on now. Focus on like setting some goals and think of some steps that you can do to try to achieve those goals, little baby steps, things like that. And then don't compare yourself to others, because you never really know like what a person's going through. When it comes to social media and stuff, a lot of people lie or like put on facades and things like that. So if you're like friends with someone or whatever, and you're constantly like saying like, oh my, like you're venting to them all the time and saying all the wrongs in your life, and then they're like, oh, like that's going on wrong in your life. Oh well, I can't relate because I just got a new job and I'm doing this and my life is going great and my relationship is going this. Like, the person could be lying to you. The person could just be saying that. You don't want to be friends with someone that is going to be putting you down when you're venting to someone. Instead, you want a friend that's like, if you say, I got an F on my test, they're like, wow, like, I'm so sorry to hear that. Like, maybe you can study more, or like, I can help you study. I could look up things, or maybe you should get a tutor. Like, you want someone that's going to give you, that's going to pour water into your cup, that's going to give you advice instead of making you feel bad. And someone that's going to be like, oh, like you failed that test, you know, I failed this test before too, like, so it's okay, we're just going to try to like reach out to our teacher and things like that. I don't know if that was a good example to use, but make sure that you're friends with people that have positive energy. So a good thing about me, like with my friends, is I never try to make anyone feel bad or make them think that I'm better than myself. I am older like than my friends by like 1 to 2 years, depending on the friends that I have, but I never try to make them think that I'm better than them because I'm older than them, or we all have different life paths, or so, you know, I never do that. Always humble yourself, because you just never know. And then forgive yourself, because when you're on your self-love journey, you're gonna look back to like the times where you're like sad and you were depressed and you didn't love yourself, and all of the things that you accepted, or all of the bad thoughts that you had about yourself, you know, thinking that you're like, you're not worthy or you're less than. So learn to forgive yourself, because that will help you move on, you know. And then I think I mentioned this before, but don't settle for less. Life is too short. You're a beautiful person. You have so much going for you, so don't ever settle for less. I went to church this past Sunday and I really loved it. What they mostly talked about was how everyone has their own battles that they're trying to, like the wars within themselves, that sometimes they might share but sometimes they don't share. So it was great. It was in Spanish, which I know Spanish, but not if it's like spoken too fast. So there was like bits and pieces that I understood, but I really loved it. So some of the things that also I feel like that church service helped me, like give me motivation to make this video, because I kept saying I wanted to make it, but I kept holding it off. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. So sometimes we have to let go. I'm like reading these things because it reminded me of the church service. But sometimes we have to let go of things so that God can give us something bigger and better. So I think you guys have probably seen that meme where it's like a little girl and then it's God or like Jesus. I'm sorry, I'm not that like educated, but whatever. So it was Jesus, I think, and it was like a little girl, and he had a bear behind his back. It was like a big teddy bear, and the little girl had like a small teddy bear, and God was trying to tell her like, give me your teddy bear. And she was like, oh, like, you know, she was second guessing it. She didn't have faith, or she didn't have trust in God. And if she would have just given him her bear, her tiny bear, he would have given her a bigger bear. So always like, sometimes when God sends you like signs and things, and like red flags and things, like pay attention to them, because God is trying to tell you that there's something better on the way for you. And if you ever like break up with someone, or your friendship doesn't work out, things like that, God is going to be sending you a friend that is like better, or a boyfriend that will treat you better. And just know that with God, everything is on God's timing. So it's not gonna like just boom pop up tomorrow, or like pop up in 2 weeks or whatever. Like, God has a purpose for you. That's why we're all here. So it's all on his timing. We don't know his timing. He's just working on everything behind the scenes, and he has like a bigger picture. We just have to trust his process. So that's what I was going to say, is like trust God, because he already has a path and he already has a purpose for all of us. So it's okay to let things go, because something better is on the way with time. Another thing is, when life gets hard, it's not God punishing you. It's him testing you to see if like you believe him, if you trust him. He's not trying to make you weak or make you feel hopeless or anything like that. He's trying to make you one of his like strongest soldiers. So he's trying to help you figure out like how to overcome the lessons or the little bumps in the road that come with life. So he's trying to teach you how to overcome them, how to gain your strength, you know, like your thick skin or X, Y, and Z. And he wants you to overcome these wars and these battles and learn all these lessons, so that you can realize how strong you are. Like, man, God doesn't give me a break, or like, I don't know why all these things are happening to me, like, why me? But he's basically trying to teach you how to be stronger, and he wants you to have like, he wants you to be able to share your testimonies. You're gonna have a beautiful testimony, whether you were like in a toxic relationship, a domestic violence relationship, a friendship that the person wasn't really your friend, or being with family members that like mistreated you or made you feel less than. So you'll have this beautiful testimony and all that stuff, and you'll be able to share it with others and hopefully inspire others. So those are all of the notes that I wrote down in today's video. So I hope you guys liked it, and once again, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications so that you can be notified every time that I post a new video. And also don't forget to check out my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Facebook page. I hope you guys have an amazing week, weekend, month, day, the rest of your year, or if you guys are watching this in the new year, I hope your 2023 is amazing. And that's it for today's video. Bye, my beauties.